Welcome to the first VMK in the OpenAL series. OpenAL is a free 3D audio API used for gaming or other applications that rely on sound being played back through your computer. In this VMK, I'll be showing you where to get OpenAL from, and then we're going to start working with it in the next VMK. At the current time of this recording, OpenAL is being maintained by Creative Labs. So let's go over to their website. We can type into Google OpenAL and do a search for it, and you should see the very first one is to the Creative Labs website. And when you're here, you'll notice that we're on the OpenAL tab. Have a read through this website. There's a lot of useful information on here on what OpenAL is. There's documentation as well. However, we're going to be downloading the complete SDK, so we'll have the documentation on our computer. You want to click on the libraries download section, and in here you'll see a listing of all the different files that OpenAL is related to. At the top we have ALUT. This is a utility library which we'll be using in the VMKs to allow us to load in audio files into memory, and then once our audio file is in memory we can then play it back through the speakers. AL Caps Viewer is a small application, actually there's two of them in there, that allows you to see what kind of capabilities your computer supports for things like 3D audio rendering and things like that. So I recommend you download this one. You just click on the ALUT link, and currently version 1.1.0 is out. So what you want to do is you want to download this file here if you're on the Windows machine. If you're building your software on a different platform, you'll want to download one of the others. But what we're interested in is a binary file, so click on this link here and then download this file to some location on your hard drive. Alright, let's go back. You'll want to also get the AL caps. Just click on that, download that file to the same location where you downloaded the first one. This file here is the OpenAL installer. You'll need to run this program to be able to play back any software that is written using OpenAL. Now we don't directly need to download this because this file is also included inside of OpenAL 11core.sdk. This is the actual source code that we'll be using to compile and build our own applications that use OpenAL. So click on this. You'll want to download it and save it into the same folder where your other two files, these ones here, were downloaded to. These other files are for different operating systems. We have support here for Mac OS, and there's also support down here for Linux as well. So what I want you to do is just download this file here, OpenAL 11core SDK. If there's a newer version by the time that you're watching this VMK, just download the newer one, and then you'll want to download the Caps Viewer and ALUT. Once you've downloaded all of that stuff, you should have the following files on your hard drive. All you want to do is you want to open up your OpenAL 11core SDK.zip. Inside of here you'll find your executable, extract that, and then double click on that to install it. Step through the standard installation procedure. It'll ask you where do you want to install it on your hard drive, and accept any of the defaults that it asks you for. After you install the OpenAL Core SDK, on my computer, stuck it here under C Program Files OpenAL 1.1 SDK. You'll see we have 5 directories: docs, include, libraries, distribution, and some sample files. Under the docs, here you'll find all the documentation that you require to be able to fully understand how OpenAL works. So if you want to know how a specific function works within OpenAL, you'd be looking at the Programmer's Guide. If you open that up and you take a look through here, you'll see that every single function that's defined in the OpenAL API is described here in this document. You can just click on any of these and you can read about how the function works, what kind of parameter it takes, and so on. Let's go back here. Under the include directory, you'll find the include files which we'll need inside of our source code. Inside of the library files, there's this separation here between 32 and 64-bit files, and inside of there you'll find the libraries which we'll need to link into. The distribution has that OpenAL installer. This is what you're going to need to install on your computer to be able to play back any software written with OpenAL. So if you didn't do this step during the installation of the Core SDK, you'll want to go into here, double click on this, and install the OpenAL DLLs into your system path so that any programs that you write will be able to run OpenAL code. And lastly, we have our samples. Under the samples, you'll have these directories here, which basically show you how to do the following things. So how to capture audio, how to enumerate for special effects. There's some filtering, reverb. Here's some more enumeration. There's a framework that was written by the people at Creative Labs, and they basically show you how to do a lot of the functionality that you need to be able to work with audio files. So that's all written in the framework. There's how to play back an OGG file, how to play back static files, multi-channel files, how to stream audio, and also another demo here using XRAM. If you open up the README file and scroll down through here, it shows you a little bit of a description as to what each of those projects are for. And then if you were to open up one of these, like let's say we look at Play Static, you see there's the source code on how to make the program work, and then there's a 32 and a 64-bit version of the project. So under here you see we have a 2003 and a 2005 Visual Studio solution to this project. Also, under the bin directory, we already have the compiled executables for all those programs. So if you double click on this, you'll actually run the program that is written inside of the source code here. I'm not going to be going into these files here because in the VMK series, we'll be writing our own audio manager to handle playback, streaming, OGG files, and memory management. So if you want another perspective as to how to do different things, you might want to take a look through the samples. However, it's not required for this VMK series. Okay, so I hope you come back for the next VMK, where we're going to get started in Visual Studio.